Hi guys, this is Radhika here again. So this video that I wanted to make is about some tips on getting back into the dating world, or even if you don't want to date, just getting into that mind space of being involved, excuse me, with someone in a romantic way after you have been through a relationship with a narcissistic personality disordered person, more on the malignant side, and assuming that the relationship did not end on a good note. Yeah, so basically, here are some of my tips for that. And I mean, I'm not like a relationship counselor, it's just from my um, I would say a little bit of personal experience, but also like experience from friends and um, just seeing what happens to people around me and how they have overcome it and how they moved past it. Yeah, so, and also some of my tips, which I don't know who has tried, but I think that should be the good way to go. Yeah, so after being through such a situation, I would say the first thing that you really need to do is really analyze what happened and accept it. And I don't want to say over analyze it. So, I mean, that time period really depends on you. But the mind or the human body, spirit, energy is not like a robo. So you cannot go through a difficult traumatic time and then suddenly overnight become okay again and change and start going out with other people. I don't think that's a very healthy way to do things. That's how narcissists operate, but because they are very much away from their soul, so they don't know what they feel inside. They have literally numbed all of the feelings that come from their soul to a massive degree, and they live in ego. And so when they live in ego, they want to prove to, forget the world, they want to prove to themselves that they are so strong. I mean, they consider this strength, or they are so resilient, and they are so don't care about things or about you, that they would just, after having a long relationship or whatever time it was, and after the breakup, they would simply start going out with someone else. And this makes people very replaceable. And that's not what should I say, that's not normal, because a person who celebrates another person, for that person people are not replaceable, because everyone is unique and everyone is nice and everyone is different. But you do develop some attachment to that person. And that detachment is completely different, which is like a spiritual detachment. But what the narcissists do is basically uh, they will push their feelings so down, and they have been doing this their whole life, so they don't even feel the feelings of their soul, their intuition. They don't feel those things so much. um, that's what I think. And so they are so easily able to move on, but you are not like that. So you can take your own time, and there's nothing shameful in being sad over a broken relationship. In fact, it's the most natural thing. It's the most obvious thing that a person will feel. So it's nothing to be like ashamed about. Even if your partner has moved on and they are with someone else and they are enjoying life, that is unnatural. What you are going through is not unnatural. So yeah, so basically you have to spend that time in that space of grief, in that space of depression, or of all the dark feelings. And I would say spend the time in that space, because probably you need to. But what I would say is, instead of reacting to it, try to really feel it in a what what do I say, in a way of understanding. Feel what you are going through, but don't react to it. If you're feeling uneasy, don't just go and have a lot of alcohol, or go and sleep with some people, or whatever you think, or go and shop exorbitantly, spend a lot of money. I mean, you might feel doing those things might make you feel better, but that's your ego. Your ego is saying that, oh, we are feeling this way, we got to do something to feel good, because your ego is feeling threatened, because you might learn something from this heart wrenching experience, and that might actually reduce your ego to a great degree. And that's why the ego gets really worked up when something like this happens, and it'll give you all kind of ideas. Text that person, email that person, this and that, and you will get all these things in your head. And those things are not from your intuition, those things are from your ego. Your ego is talking to you, it's trying to save your sense of self. So yeah, feel those things, and it's not easy to feel those things, but if you feel them, you will be like so much more powerful and so much more stronger after you are over that. And it gets over, it's not like you are always going to feel that way. So yeah, so it's a difficult thing to do, but if you do it, if you resist that temptation to do something that your ego is telling you to do, like eat that tub of ice cream, or something that, go on a rash drive and something like that, then all those are feelings of like ego, that your ego is telling you to do. So you will be able to differentiate between them, and so just stop yourself there. And then after you have analyzed it, you will have to start the process of letting go of the past. It's just the past, it happened, let it go. And forgiving yourself for whatever part you played in that previous relationship. Maybe you loved a lot, maybe you gave a lot, and now you feel like a fool, that why did I do this, why did I do that, why did I not give myself that time. And you will feel like that, but it's okay. After some time you will realize, you know what, that's the past again, I can't do anything about it except for learning from it. So you learn from it that you have to make time for yourself first, you have to love yourself first. And then after you come to that understanding, you can give yourself a lot of self love. Make time for things you like. If you like music, listen to music. If you like traveling, travel a little bit, or how much ever you want to. If you like making arts and crafts, do that. If you like gardening, do that. If you like animals, go do something with animals. Whatever you like. If you like shopping, you can do shopping. If that's something that gives you real happiness, you can do that. But not out of like, because I want to escape this feeling, now I'm going to do that will become addictive. So that will become like for your ego. But after you have understood it, do it in balance. Don't do it to avoid something else. Yeah, then after a good dose of self love, you can start making space for someone else in your life if you want to, with whom you can grow in life. So the wishes, or the inner wish that you have for a romantic partner, maybe before self love, or before you discover that you are whole within yourself, maybe it was like, I want someone because I want someone to live for, or, because I want someone to travel the world with. So they always fulfilled a need that you had in your life. But I think instead of that, if you make a wish for someone who can help you grow as a person, or just someone to spend your life with, not a particular thing that is missing in your life. You can feel that I love the life that I live, even if I am alone, but it would be great if I had someone else to share this life with. If you have that kind of a wish in your mind, or in your intuition, or in your subconscious, you will attract that kind of a person without any expectations, without any expectation of how they are, how they should be. And all you are saying is, I have this beautiful, wonderful life which is complete, and I would love to share it with someone. And so you are not putting an expectation on them that they will fulfill this thing in your life. You are sharing your life. So if you actually wish like that, maybe slowly you will manifest a partner like that in your life. When you start internalizing that wish, everything creation will send you that particular thing that you need in your life. Yeah, and basically when we look for someone who's complementary to us, they will help us grow. But maybe if that's not your need, then, and if you're okay the way you are, then you can just wish someone to share your life with. And then once you find that person, or if you are into dating and stuff like that, and you're very unsure if the person you meet is a good person for you or not, this is my tactic. So I do this. So I don't do all that thing like, or I didn't used to, because now I have a husband. But even with a husband, or even with any partner or anyone in my life, I don't do all those things like seeing a message and not replying to them, and then replying when, like they have waited enough for my reply. I don't do all those things. I don't act pricey. And I know a lot of people, you have to find that balance of not being a codependent but also not being a narcissist. It's like a fine balance of being all yourself. And I think for a lot of us, we find this balance really well with a best friend. So if you have a best friend in your life, what I try to treat everyone as a best friend in my life. So if I have a best friend and she calls me and I'm really busy in some office work, I don't mind just telling her that, hey, you know what, I'm busy in office work, I'll call you when I get free. And when I get free, I call her. There's no games, there's no manipulation. It's straight up like. And then if she texts me back saying, no, this is really important, can you call me right now, I excuse myself from work and I call her because it's that important. Or your family, if you treat your family like your best friend, if you treat your parents like your best friends, it's the same thing. But sometimes I think with parents we are a little bit more cautious, so we do let them step on our boundaries a little more because they probably are older. And even if we are busy, we will make sure, are you okay, should I call you back right away. But with a best friend, because they are our age, and our partner will also probably be our age, and we don't want to treat our partner like our parents, or someone older than us, or someone who needs a lot of care like a baby or a parent who's older. So yeah, you can treat your partner just like your best friend. And then if you have all these questions like, should I call them, should I text them, and all these mind games that people play when they are in new phases of a relationship, which is okay actually, because everyone's trying to test the waters, so to say, when you are with someone new. But what I would say is, you can go with an open heart. If you have done enough inner work, you can go anywhere with an open heart, because you know who you are and you know your boundaries, and you know that as soon as someone oversteps a boundary, you are like a warrior and you can stop them right there. And when you have that much confidence, you don't have to play these games and you don't have to do all this. It's just so time consuming, and it just takes so much of your brain power to, figure all these things out. It's not a good thing to do. Um, so yeah, so basically, if you want to be in a really mature and a good relationship, then you can be this way. I'm not saying the other person will be as mature and as um, self insightful as you are. But what you can do is, you act this way. Anytime you're confused, just ask yourself the question, if it was John or Jill, assuming they're your best friend, what would I do? If this person was John or Jill, would I text right now, or would I think that, should I text 3 hours later, let them wait for my text? Would I do that? I wouldn't, right? So basically, you can just treat them as your best friend. Don't think they are your best friend, but treat them as your best friend, and then see how they respond to you behaving this way. Are they treating you the way your best friend treats you. And of course they won't treat you exactly the same because these are two different people, so they will have a different personality than your best friend. But are you feeling comfortable with the way they are treating you, or do you think that they are taking you for granted? Or do you feel that they are super codependent, they are super needy, they just want you to text them again and again and again and talk to you all the time and ask you all the time, where are you, what are you doing? And that's okay. Some people can be needy and you will have to make your judgment call. Now I'm not saying that you have to find someone who's like super perfect and only go out with them, but if they are needy, then can you handle their neediness and can you help them little bit, by being there for them, overcome their feel of, like this neediness or codependency? Can you help them by being there for them, so that they don't have to be this insecure all the time? Or if they're too controlling, demanding, are they malleable? Or, I mean, I'm not saying you always have to change people, but are they open to growth? That's the question. They have to change themselves. So if someone is super demanding and super controlling, it's not like you are like a magician and you know how human beings should be and you are changing them. That's a very narcissistic way of thinking about things. But you see them that they are controlling, they are demanding, but are they open to growth? Do they accept that, okay, I am a bit of a control freak, maybe I need to work on it? Do they have that kind of an attitude? And if they do, then do you want to give them a chance? Do you want to give them a chance of, letting go and going with the flow kind of a thing? And if they have a big ego, are they willing to let go of that ego little by little? So if you know the situation, if you have worked on yourself in a very deep and thorough way, then you will be able to find, you will be able to judge any situation from all sides, and you will be able to make a good decision. And you will also not be so needy that you need to be in a relationship, or so egoistic that, I hate other people, I just don't want to be with them. So you will yourself find that middle ground. And then once you are there, and whatever partner comes into your life, because you guys will be together, you both will change each other in a way, without like explicitly doing it. Just by being with that person, you both will like get charged in your energy, and his or her energy might change you and your energy might change them, even without knowing it or even without like explicitly doing it. And it can help both the people grow in that relationship. So yeah, so I think if you treat them as your best friend and see how things go from there, you will have a really good chance at having a mature and stress-free relationship, which is free of all these mind games and domination and, having the last word and things like that. So yeah, that was this video, and I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thanks. Bye.